and so-called grandparents. But some of y'all will say, some of our grandparents and parents and aunties and uncles, like I told you about my aunt, who even, she's up on the fact that, quote, the one Jesus Christ, according to what is written, just what we have in the written version. Because you have to remember that there would be a old wine and there'll be a new wine, right? And some who have been saying Jesus Christ from, say, back in the day, some of our own ancestors who had a good life, a good liberty, and they opposed evil, whether it was black or white. You know what I mean? They recognized the reality, but they lived as a so-called Christian. They are also in grace, too, because the higher knowledge had not become available. You know, but in their heart, they knew that this was just like a placeholder. You know what I mean? This is a placeholder. In other words, the Almighty, if we look at the Bible, it's theology, the Almighty knows if He exists, right? And if we exist, and if the knowledge that we have is true, right? Then He knows. I'm going to use He. I know some will have an argument, whatever, but we'll deal with you after this, right? But hear this. Knows that there's people who have been deceiving and lying. Like the people who say J-E-S-U-S, Jesus, right? That's how it's written, but they tell us to say Jesus. You know what I mean? So some people, some good people have been lied to. You know what I'm saying? Or people who have sought to live good. And if they knew that it was Yeshua or Yahshua, they would not have used it. But in their time, it was known as Jesus, and there was no other mind that was putting another height on that. Now we're going to say all those people are going to so-called are destroyed or all their good is accounted evil because they did not know what we know now because of, as it says in the book of Daniel, information, knowledge shall increase, they shall go to and fro. You know, it even prophesies the information superhighway. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, where we have more ability to know things that we could not know. So when we were so-called ignorant of it, if there is a true God power, you don't think that that true God power know or knew that the people were ignorant of it and therefore cause for more better knowledge to come into the world? Like, you shall know the truth. You know how that verse says, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall do what? Set you free. But even while they were not set free, there were those who were under the Jesus, the Zeus, and all that Zeus vibes, right? Who was not doing the works of Zeus.
That's the thing we have to, we take that free thing a little too lightly because we are always looking at physically free.
No. I'm not even talking about that. What I'm talking about those ancestors. I'm not saying all. I'm not even judging which ones because there's so many of them. You know, that has to be judged by the judge. But I'm just observing that there were those. In other words, people become zealous over a word. It's like the Bible says they make a man an offender because of a word. There's a scripture.
I was going is like, you got people we grew up with. I mean, anybody who listening here who grew up going to church, no church people who was what he's saying right there. You know a set of people who they go to church and they have a zeal for the Most High, a real zeal for the Most High. But they go to church faithfully, and when they're in church, they're in their feelings and they're trying to connect with the Most High. But they only don't do that in church; they do that at home. So there's a set of them that their conception of their heart and their soul and their spirit was given to the Most High. So when they come out of church and they're in the parking lot, they're in the grocery store, they're in the neighborhood, wherever, this is the same Miss Baptiste you see in church. Everywhere you see her, this is Miss Baptiste. Understand? Her light shine. She always like this. But then you got those now who go to church and they want to chant out Jesus, this, and tell you need Jesus and all this thing. But by the time they come out of the church, they're in the parking lot cussing bad word.
True.
So we have to distinguish the two. That's why over where I was going with the conversation, that the people who got that real zeal, who go into the church and still saying Jesus, because they don't have the knowledge of Yeshua and the Jesus Christ. They still saying Jesus, but their heart is in the right place. And a lot of them know Jesus is a black man. But then you have those now who go in there and they're chanting Jesus. I want to tell you about Jesus and act like they're done with Jesus. But the only time they act like that is in the church building. And the building is not even the church, it's the people. See, so now they go out and them people have a white Jesus in their house. A lot of people with white Jesus in their house. If you have a white Jesus in your house, you on the wrong track. You so far on the wrong track is ridiculous.
You know,
and I'm not saying nothing like bad about the people. I'm just saying that you have been steered to go the wrong direction. Because if you're going to think of the Messiah and think of Caesar Borgia instead of it, like instead of Yeshua, your whole chemical makeup in your head is messed up. Because you are seeing something and projecting something that is not there. It's a fantasy. So now, if they could do that to your head, now they introduce their doctrine of what the Messiah is supposed to be to you. And because you have this Caesar Borgia in your head, you following with this every time the word Jesus or Jesus come up. You see.
Yeah.
Something contrary to what you're supposed to be seeing.
You see in your mind.
Seeing that is infiltrating your whole system, your whole body, your whole chemical makeup, everything about you is being affected by this.
Facts.
And this is a trick that has been pulled on us, and we're not seeming as a people to see this. So this is how this reasoning come up, because we saying Jesus al Islam, and there is no Z in the word. Bible to the Quran, Revelation in Jerusalem, Shalom, Salam Alaikum,